In Canada, police have used force to disperse protesters who were angry with the government's austerity policies. Now, the demonstrators had gathered outside the National Assembly building in Quebec City when security forces unleashed tear gas on them. Now, this is the latest protest in a series of demonstrations against austerity measures in Canada. On March the 25th, dozens of protesters were detained in a similar event in downtown Quebec City. Police said the demonstration was illegal. The event was organized by the Revolutionary Student Movement. Students say government cuts negatively affect public sector workers. Tens of thousands of students have gone on a strike in Quebec City, also Montreal and Chicoutimi, where similar protests took place on Tuesday. Joining us now is Professor Rodney Shakespeare from London via Skype. He's a professor of economics. Many thanks for joining us here on Press TV, Professor Shakespeare. Now, first of all, austerity cuts at the time when we're seeing Greece and even the Eurozone as a whole say that austerity has not worked. We're seeing Canada adopt similar measures. What do you make of it?
Well, you put your finger on it. You see, it's country after country after country after country, and they're all part of a corrupt, failing system, which works essentially by increasing debt and then making that debt repayable to the tiny 1% elite. And it's going wrong on a huge scale, and as a result, the students are protesting. And there's one other point in your report, which is all these demonstrations are technically becoming illegal because you have to ask permission, whereupon they turn you down. So we're looking at a complete failure of the system, increasing fascism in respect of protest and dissent, and if I may say so, only binary economics is the solution.
Well, as far as Quebec goes, in Canada at least, the people there are extremely politically involved and civic savvy, so to speak. Do we expect this to turn into yet another Maple Spring like we'd seen years ago?
I couldn't quite hear that last question, but what you're referring to is the political strength of the Canadian public, and they had better be political because they are governed by a Zionist government, and a government which is only working at the moment to crush the ordinary people, in exactly as the same as happening in Greece, Cyprus, France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, etc., etc. We need a revolt on a large scale, and we need binary economics, binaryeconomics.net. It is the only large-scale solution now available.
And before I let you go, Professor Shakespeare, there were many who said Canada had weathered the Great Recession quite well. So why austerity?
You cannot have a individual country weathering it quite well. At any point, there will be some countries a little better off, but the overall thing is going down, and you're going to get another 7 to 10 years, even more of this. And Canada is part of that. It's the collapse of the Western financial, economic and political system.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Professor Rodney Shakespeare, Professor of Binary Economics, joining us via Skype from London. It's always a pleasure talking to you on Press TV.